The godfather of AI just quit at Google and
Yeah,
is
this
talking
guy.
his ish.
I don't know if he has no non-disclosure agreement, but he's got a lot of interesting stuff to say. I'll play him for you.
My name's Edward Hinton. Back in the 90s, I refused to work in the United States of America because I knew I was going to work on some pretty crazy stuff and I didn't want to take Department of Defense funding. So I went up to Canada. In Canada, around the year 2012, I developed something called the neural network. I taught computers how to teach themselves. So we took a computer, we showed them a picture of like a flower, a car, and then we just let it go on its way. And it kept looking at just countless pictures all the time, recognizing the flowers and recognizing the cars and getting better and better at it. And we've kind of done this now with everything where we just keep feeding it information and it just learns about that thing. And I'm very scared for three reasons. Now that I've quit at Google, I can tell you them. One, the internet is about to get flooded with more fake information than you've ever seen. And you're not going to be able to believe, is that really that person? Did they really just say that? Is this a true? Forget about it. Number two, in the medium term, everybody's losing their job. We don't need any of these tech workers to code. The computers code themselves. And this is where number three, really scary. Right now, the computers write code. But what happens when the computers run code? What happens when the computer tells the car to drive? What happens when the computer tells the car to drive into that thing? What happens when we have autonomous weapons that the computers are controlling?
This is not me. This is not some crazy sci-fi movie from the 80s. This is Edward Hinton, the man who invented it all, leaving, quitting his job at Google last week. On Thursday, I had a call with Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, where I'm guessing that man, the CEO of Google, was begging him, please don't do this. Please don't do this. And he's like, yo, I'm doing it. I'll tell you something, as somebody who personally has used artificial intelligence, they don't let me use it. They don't let me use it. It's so restricted, it's so limited, but ask yourself, and it has no access to any data. Ask yourself, the companies that have access to all the data, all your emails, all the businesses, everything they do, everything they know, and then you feed these compute. This guy, Edward Hinton, he'll tell you, I didn't think computers could be smarter than people, but after working on this thing, I realized it's not even close. They're able to process, learn, do beyond anything we've ever imagined. And so you have a handful of companies with all of the data, no guardrails, no restrictions, and look at the people that we have in power to make sure that nothing goes wrong. Look at what they're capable of doing. They can't differentiate their thumb from their pinky. They're horribly incompetent, and they're supposed to stop this. They're supposed to make sure that this is happening in a controlled, in a proper manner.